This video was produced by the UCD Maths Support Centre in conjunction with the UCD Access Centre. In this video, I'm going to look about how to divide a line segment into a given ratio both internally and externally. So if we have a line PQ, this line here, and the coordinates of the point P are x1, y1, the coordinates of point Q are x2, y2, and we want to divide it into the ratio A to B internally, then the coordinates of the point R are given by the formula, the x coordinate being b times x1 plus a times x2 all over b plus a, and the coordinates of the y value being b times y1 plus a times y2 all over b plus a. If we have a line PQ and we want to divide it into a ratio A to B externally, then we have a slightly different formula. x1, y1 and x2, y2 are the same, the coordinates of P and Q respectively. But if we want to have our R now being an external point, then the coordinates, the x coordinate of R will be minus b times x1 plus a times x2 all over minus b plus a, and the coordinates of the y coordinate of R will be minus b times y1 plus a times y2 all over minus b plus a. So if we look at these two formulae, you can just see the only difference is that in the external formula here, there is a minus in front of all of the b's, where in the internal formula, every b is positive. So that might be an easy way to remember the difference. For internal, it's just b, but for external, it has to be minus b. So now we're going to look at an example here, where we're going to be asked to take the points x at minus 5, 3 and y at 3, 1, and we want to find the coordinates of z, which divides the line xy in the ratio of 3 to 1, internally and externally. So for the first part, we write down our formula for the internal ratio, and all we have to do is work out what our a, b, x1, x2, y1 and y2 are. So in this case, our ratio is 3 to 1. So that ratio is our A to B ratio. So our A, therefore, is 3, and our B is 1. Our x1 is going to be the x coordinate of the point x, so minus 5. Our x2 is going to be the x coordinate of the point y, which is 3. Our y1 is going to be the y coordinate of the point x, which is 3. And our y2 is going to be the y coordinate of the point y, which is 1. So once we have all of these details here, we just need to fill them into our formula here on the left. And once we fill all of those details in, we'll get this here as our x coordinates and our y coordinate. And once we simplify these points, we end up with the point z being the point 1, 0. The second part of the question is done very similarly, but we just have to keep in mind that now our formula is the external ratio formula. All of our values for a and b, x1, x2, y1 and y2 have not changed. We're still using the same ratio a to b that we had above. So we just fill in all of those values, keeping in mind the difference now that there's a minus in front of all of our b's. So instead of we having a 1 here, we have a -1, and so on. And once we simplify the fractions inside these coordinates, we end up with the answer that the external point z is 7 minus 3. And that's our final answer.